How's it going, friends? I'm Jay Sennett. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Jay here in my Jazzy J kitchen. I was thinking about this. Something I've never made on the show is dessert. I've never made a dessert on the show. Not sure why. Well, I don't eat a lot of desserts. I make some desserts, but just the choice few, like a creme brulee, flourless, black raspberry chambord chocolate cake, and just a few more. But this is one thing I want to make for you on this episode. I had this cooking freestyle with Jay Sennett. It's like a mini magazine cookbook of some of my recipes. And I haven't looked in this thing in so long. It came out several years back. It was a fundraising premium for one of our fundraisers at the radio station. And this was the beginning of a cooking show I was going to do back in the day. Cooking freestyle with Jay Sennett. And one of the recipes in here, it's my Amaretto Bread Pudding with Blackberry Citrus Glaze. So I thought, I'll whip that out tonight and I'll make a dessert. I'll make my Amaretto Bread Pudding, and just to mix it up a little bit, try something different. All right, so it's dessert on the show tonight. This delicious bread pudding that I'm going to make for you, and I'll show you how I do it. Getting started right now. All right, so much stuff up here. Now in this bowl, you'll need a few bowls. Okay, in this bowl here, I have some French baguettes chopped up in little cubes like that. Okay. About three or four French baguettes diced up in cubes. Baguettes about 1 foot long, like that. And ideally, you want to get the baguettes, leave them about 2 or 3 days. Let them get a little old, okay? To get that nice crispy crust on them, on the outside. Now, in here, this bowl, I have 5 eggs, okay? And I already whisked these up. So 5 eggs in this one, and in this bowl I'm going to put 2 cups of milk. Okay, 2%. I use 2% whole milk there. And here I want to add a cup of buttermilk. Okay, now the thing with desserts, as many of you know, it's kind of like an exact science, so you got to be pretty close with this stuff. And a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. So 2 cups of milk, 2%. I use 2% milk. I'm not sure why, since I'm using the cream and the buttermilk, but 2% whole milk, 2 cups. 1 cup of buttermilk and a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Okay, and also in here, I want to add about 1.5 tablespoons of almond extract. Okay, about 1.5 tablespoons of almond extract. I want to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla flavoring. Okay, a little bit more of that. Now, I like to use the bourbon flavored vanilla extract, if you can find it. If not, just plain vanilla extract will work. Okay, about 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon in here. Now I want to add the sugars. I use about 1 cup of brown sugar. Okay, maybe 1.25 cups of brown sugar, and about 3/4 cup of white cane sugar. Okay, you want to stir this around, get it mixed in. All right, then I want to add my eggs. There's 5 eggs in here, okay? 5 eggs. And you want to get this blended around. And if you really thought about the title of this dish, the Amaretto Bread Pudding, bread pudding with the blackberry glaze, or blackberry sauce. You notice I didn't put the amaretto in there, but I'm going to do that right now. And I put about 2 tablespoons, maybe, okay, we'll put about 2 tablespoons. Some Deserono in there, some good quality amaretto, all right? And we stir this well, stir these ingredients well. Then I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of butter, which this was melted, but it cooled off a little bit. Okay. Get in there, get in there. Okay. So some butter right there. But I'm not so much worried about this because you want your baking dish right here. It's coated with butter. All right. So, I did say this is rich, right? Yes. It's a dessert, so you got to go all out. Do your thing. Okay, so that's mixed pretty well. Now, what I'm going to do next is get my bowl of bread and pour this batter over this bread. Okay? And I want to make sure that the bread gets thoroughly soaked in this batter, okay? So let that bread absorb the flavors of this batter. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Meanwhile, preheat your oven to 325, okay? 325. Oh, man. $3.25. Got the French baguettes there. We have the milk, 2 cups of milk, a cup of buttermilk. You can use low-fat buttermilk if you want. I don't. I think my recipe calls for low-fat buttermilk, though. And then a half a cup of heavy cream. Then you have your amaretto, a couple of tablespoons amaretto, about a teaspoon of cinnamon, about a tablespoon of almond extract, about a tablespoon and a half of almond extract, and a tablespoon of vanilla flavoring. Then about a cup and a quarter of brown sugar and 3/4 cup of white sugar, right? And then 5 eggs. Okay, 5 eggs. All right. Now, what I'm going to do here is pour this in a buttered baking dish, of course. All right. And then even this out over there like so. And it's already smelling good, man. Got that amaretto in here, vanilla flavoring, the almond extract, cinnamon. It just smells like dessert in this house right now. And you know what it smells like? It smells like Christmas right now in here. And Christmas is my favorite holiday too. So I'm making a dessert tonight. You know, I need to look over here just to make sure how long I'm going to ask you to cook this thing. Okay. You bake it for about 50 minutes to an hour at 325. Okay? All right. So what I'm going to do now is put this in the oven. You can even let the bread sit a little bit more, right, in the batter for about 5 or 10 minutes before you put it in the oven. And that's why I've got the bread mixed in well with the batter, okay? So 325 at about 50 minutes to an hour. We're going to bake this. Okay. And I'm going to Set the timer. Get up there, get up there. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go over here to the stove and I'm going to show you how I make this blackberry sauce. Okay, in this pot I have about a cup and a half of some berries in there, right? You can see those berries in there. I'm going to turn this heat on. All right, I have the zest of an orange, okay? Blackberry citrus, okay? All right. Then I want to add about 3/4 cup of brown sugar. I want to add about 1/4 cup of heavy cream. All right, a couple tablespoons of water. Oh, look at this. About 3 to 4 tablespoons of butter. Yes, it's rich. Here, I'm going to put some more amaretto in here. So a small tablespoon, maybe small, of some amaretto, okay? Some amaretto right there. And I want to get this going. Oops, just made a splash. Got all over me. All right, so while this is cooking and getting together, making a mess. Okay. Now there's one more ingredient that I'm going to add here, and that's the cornstarch. I have about a teaspoon of cornstarch that I want to add in here. Because it will start. See, well, I'm going to wait for a minute to put that cornstarch in here. Because once this gets hot and starts to boil a little bit, I'm going to start mashing the berries up, okay? I want to get the butter melted first, mash the berries up, and then I'm going to add a little bit of cornstarch as a thickener, okay? So where's that lid? Where's the lid? Get some heat going there. All right, so this is where we're going to take some time. I'm going to let the bread pudding cook, and when I come back with the magic of editing, because I said the bread pudding has to cook for about 50 minutes to an hour, and then when I come back, I'll finish making the blackberry citrus sauce, and then you'll see the bread pudding. Okay? All right, stay with us, which will only seem like it'll be like a few seconds. Okay, but that's editing. Be right back. Okay, we're back, friends. It felt just like a few seconds, right? But actually, through the magic of editing, I let this cook, the bread pudding cook, for about 50 minutes to an hour. So let's pull the bread pudding out of the oven. See what we have here. Oh man! Look at that! Look at that! Oh man! And it smells so good. Oh, ooh. Okay, get back to that in just a moment. Let that sit there for a while. This is my blackberry citrus sauce, okay, or glaze. Let me tell you how I made this and what I did. Okay, about a cup and a half of some blackberries. About 3/4 cup of brown sugar in here. I put about a tablespoon or a couple of teaspoons of some amaretto in here. The zest of an orange. Okay, put the zest of an orange in here. A couple of tablespoons of water. Let's see, the amaretto, and I have about, now here's the tricky part with the cornstarch. Okay, there's 3 to 4 tablespoons of butter. Ooh, it's rich, yes. 3 to 4 tablespoons of butter in here as well. And then I get some cornstarch and make a slurry, right, with some water and cornstarch. And then, but before I add the cornstarch, the blackberries, what you want to do, try to mash them up with a masher, right? But I get a different pot, and I put this over the new pot, and then I pour the mixture through the strainer, right? And then you'll have all the blackberry stuff right in here. And then you mash that down to get all the juices out of those berries, right? Just mash it down, and then you toss that, right? And then you have this beautiful, silky smooth texture on this sauce. Now, you're on a low heat, so I gradually add some of the slurry, the cornstarch from the water, okay? And I get it to the thickening point that I like. Now that's up to you. I like to get it to where it coats the spoon like that, right? It just coats the spoon like that. And this is my Blackberry Citrus Glaze to go over my bread pudding, okay? So what I'm going to do right now, since the bread pudding is done, and it's settling, right? I am going to put a piece in this bowl. I don't know if I should use a spoon or the spatula. I'll use a spoon. Okay, and that's done too, because it's like sticking the toothpick in there, and it comes back pretty much dry. Okay. Da 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 da. Oh yeah. Perfect. Now I want to add some of this. Some of this Blackberry Citrus Glaze over this bread pudding. And then I want to do this. Because it is citrus, we have that orange. And we have this delicious bread pudding, my Amaretto Bread Pudding with a Blackberry Citrus Glaze. Right there, folks. That's my dish for this Sunday edition of Cooking with Jay. I'm going to set this down over here. Okay. Set this down here. That's my dessert. First time making a dessert for you here on Cooking with Jay. My Amaretto Bread Pudding with a Blackberry Citrus Glaze. And I can't wait to dive into that. So, you know, the bread pudding of French bread, French baguette, chop it up in cubes. I use whole milk, 2% whole milk, 2 cups, a cup of buttermilk. You can use low-fat buttermilk. I use a half a cup of heavy cream, so it's pretty rich. A couple of tablespoons of butter. I put a couple of tablespoons of amaretto in there. Some vanilla flavoring, about a tablespoon of vanilla flavoring. About a tablespoon and a half of almond extract. 5 eggs. I use about a cup and a quarter of brown sugar and about 3/4 a cup of white cane sugar, organic white cane sugar. And then I just mix everything together with bread, the batter with the bread. Let the bread soak in that batter for about 15 minutes. Okay. Then you get a greased baking dish. I grease mine with butter, more butter. And then you preheat the oven for about at 325, and then you bake it for about 50 minutes to an hour at 325. Okay, and I just showed you how I made that Blackberry Citrus Glaze. So that's my dish for this week, and I hope you try it. If you do, let me know what you think. Send me an email to jjazz, let's try this one, j.sennett@whrv.org. Bunch of email addresses. j.sennett@whrv.org. That's jae.sennett@whrv.org. And I would like to thank my sponsor, Feast Virginia. Thank you guys. Bev, thank you so much for your sponsorship. We greatly appreciate it. And if you have a business, folks, and you want to come in and do some underwriting for Cooking with Jay, just drop me a line, drop me an email, let me know. and we'll hook you up with Diane Rojic at WHRO. So Cooking with Jay airs Sundays at 6 p.m. on the WHRO Public Media Facebook page. And these recipes, too, after they air on the Facebook page, we put them up on the YouTube channel as well, Cooking with Jay YouTube channel. So I'm Jay Sennett, and until the next episode of Cooking with Jay, be safe out there, friends. And again, thank you, Feast Virginia, for your sponsorship. And don't forget about my Send It In Session Jazz show, Monday through Thursday nights from 9 until 1. Saturday mornings from 1 until 5 for all you late birds out there. Sunday afternoons from 1 until 5. And I host a very soulful classic soul show, the R&B Chronicles, on Friday nights from 7 until 8 on WHRV FM 89.5. And until next edition of Send It In Session or Cooking with Jay, we'll see you then. Be safe. Thanks. Hi everyone, Jay Sennett here. Join me for Cooking with Jay Sunday evenings at 6 on Facebook at WHRO Public Media, with previous shows now available on YouTube at WHRO Public Media. So let's get cooking. Support for Cooking with Jay provided by Feast Virginia. Food is a human issue that needs everyone at the table. Visit feastva.org to learn more.